from both said that there's benefits.
You think it's good?
Where the President of the United States is
Come on, Freddie, you just take 3, 2, 1.
5, 4, 3, 2.
We're just mapping out song ideas here. What damnation, what the fucking God! You get very good tone, very good sounding guitar, very catchy chorus, and then, you know, in between some breaks I go no room for a king, long live the American dream.
Sound like Robot M Shadows.
No. So that sound you're hearing in this is
no room for a king.
The thing that people think is auto-tune is actually an effect.
Thank you. Can you debunk this, please?
The thing that people think is auto-tune is actually an effect that we put on to have the vocal layered and sound really cool. So listen.
No room for a king. Long live the American dream.
That's some really good texture to it, I think. Awesome.
Your boy can fucking sing, okay? God.
Now, there is auto-tune on the track, obviously, but I wanted to point out that that strong sound you're hearing is not severe auto-tune. It is an effect.
But everyone uses auto-tune.
Yes, we have the auto-tune at 47% or 47 millisecond speed, so it's not as strong as it could be. That's about a quarter of the way up, where it could be, 100% like it was in Extinction or whatever to get a certain sound. Use the auto-tune.
Right.
Everybody, anyone who's singing, if I was singing on the track, I'll use auto-tune. Any vocals, I don't care. Michael Jackson himself can play. You're gonna have auto-tune on vocals. The Weeknd has auto-tune. Sabrina Carpenter has auto-tune. Jack Malone has auto-tune.
But what about the metal purists who argue the fact of using auto-tune?
Sam from Architects that uses auto-tune. Spencer Charnas from Ice Nine Kills uses auto-tune. Chris Motionless uses auto-tune.
Does that make them a bad singer?
Noah Sebastian from Bad Omens, who everyone knows is a fantastic singer, uses auto-tune. There's no singer alive on this earth that's a professional level does not use auto-tune. It's a tool, it's an effect. It's just like tuning your guitar. I mean, T-Pain uses auto-tune, and he can sing incredible, obviously.
Yeah, shout out to T-Pain.
He doesn't need auto-tune at all.
His Warpix cover.
But he uses it for effects. And yeah, but even singers who, like there are singers out there who use the auto-tune and
use it indiscriminately and kind of like goes crazy with it.
Like Playboy Cardi.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. Once again, though, those are effects they're achieving.
Right.
Fun with it. So, but everyone, just because you don't hear the robot sound on someone's voice does not mean they're not using autotune. Everyone you listen to is using autotune. Every country star, Morgan Wallen's using autotune. Everybody uses autotune. Any genre. That's modern today. Someone like Johnny Cash and the Beatles, yeah, they didn't use autotune. They didn't have autotune. Yeah, different era musicians. But yes, autotune is used everywhere now. If you want to be competitive, you use autotune. So, rumor debunked. And he can tell you his. And maybe we have the same. My interpretation is, if you're in an apocalyptic event, and you went through the end of the world, or you're in a bad situation, turn off the radio. It means two different things. In this apocalyptic world, is turn off the radio. It can mean something bad's coming, someone's coming, gotta be quiet. It can mean, a number of things like that. That's the on the nose meaning. Like, okay, you're in the apocalypse, turn off the radio, someone's coming. The other meaning of it is, turn off the radio, turn off the media. Stop being brainwashed by what you're hearing. Turn off the radio. Start forming your own opinion. Don't just follow Daddy Trump or Daddy Biden or whoever. Don't just follow these nameless politicians who don't give a fuck about you. And don't defend their honor as someone who works at like a blue collar job, and you're defending a billionaire from New York, and you're sitting there, no, don't make fun of Daddy Trump. You look stupid. You look dumb. He doesn't know you exist. He doesn't care. And he never has cared. You are a southern rat to a big billionaire New Yorker. That's all you will be. So when you sit there and you defend him, no, leave the billionaire alone, and you make $40,000 a year, you look stupid. Turn off the radio, turn off the radio, turn off the radio. So yeah, that's another meaning for it. Turn off the radio, turn off the media, turn off the noise. I think that's what me and him both share. But in the lore of the song, turn off the radio, it means you're switching channels. So instead of turning off the radio, you never turn off the radio. You just switch channels for a little bit. And that's my interpretation of it for the lore reasons. For the lore of the song.
That's cool. I like that answer.
Yeah, so.
Nice.
Anything you want to add to that?
No, I agree with you completely.
I mean, it's secret police, right? We have crossed a line. They're for the country's own people, right?
Part 5. This is the hip hop part.
Hip hop part.
Hip hop. Holy fuck.
You guys did it again?
Wow. Cliche much. Real soy boy libtards over here. In touch with our urban roots,
Facts.
And we gotta defy the Trumpers, whatever people think we're doing, right? So going into the breakdown part of the song after the first chorus, we do a little break. Turn off the radio, like I just said, and then you hear the guitar glitch out, and now the radio switches. So now we're going to another broadcast, like from the beginning. So some news clips that Ace found, and we chopped them up, to make it sound like a warning. Essentially, is what it is, a warning. And the broadcast is just talking about when an authoritarian country or dictator, fascist, so be it, Nazi Germany, whatever, when they start training their military that's supposed to protect the people onto the people, that's when you know that we are in a very dire strait. And that's what this is talking about. So
they don't understand how hard it was to bridge that, though. They explained the process for that.
That's the part I was about to say and what I'm thinking. So you got to think, for the theme of our song to be about a radio and you're switching, you have to find out how you're going to make those actual switches work musically where you're not just jarring and you can't listen. We thought very long about this and very hard. The song only took 2 days to make, but we thought pretty long about it in the process of making it. We did not take it lightly. There's times where we want to just give up on the whole rap idea and just keep it a straight metal song. And then there's ideas where we're like, well, maybe we'll just make it like a clean sing part. Maybe we'll do something else. But no, we took the challenge and we achieved it. So how do you do that? So you go from the turn off the radio, the radio channel switches, and then you get this drum loop, this haunting drum loop, which is down here. It's just a sample drum. that I spliced together.
You know, I didn't do that for months. I didn't drop a
The
bomb
rap
on
part from our character now, as you may notice, I told you there's been glitches and stuff that transition to radio station. The transition now is a gunshot. The character was sitting in his booth, frantically rapping. He's like, the last thing I'm going to say is the only good politician's the dead one. He got killed. And then the radio switched. Turn off his radio. Turn off the radio could also mean turn off the radio. You're gone. You're dead. You know? So he got his radio turned off. Now the song transitioned back. He had his radio on. He was speaking his mind. He got his radio turned off.
That sounds like a term that we should start coining. Yo, turn that man's radio off.
Yeah, I mean,
If anyone starts saying that, you know.
they excite me.
Yeah, what's that?
I didn't break that down earlier, but I'll break that down right now. So, land of the free, home of the slave. Tongue-in-cheek, playful banter. Land of the free, we're America, we're free, right? Compared to a lot of countries, but we're home of the slave. Slave meaning you're a slave watching this right now. You know, you go to work every day, you probably hate your job, but you have to because you got to pay your pointless ass light bill, your stupid food, and just everything. Yes, we do that to survive, but we give 40 hours minimum of our life a week to get a very little bit in return on the weekends, maybe, and to spend a little bit of money we're allowed to make. While you got guys like Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos and the guys who have probably 98% of the money in the world in their pockets, and they don't have to do what they do. They don't have to. All these millionaires, billionaires, they don't have to be enslaved. But they are still. They're enslaved to their money and what they created. So in the end, that bar's for everybody. Land of the free, home of the slave, because we're all slaves. First explained, land of the greed. It's a little tongue-in-cheek thing that he had written. And then you can't be saved. That refers to medical debt in America. That's a very huge problem for anybody that's watching, conservative, liberal, I don't care. If you have a massive heart attack and you don't have insurance in America, you might as well have died. You might live, but you're going to have a fucking $1 million hospital bill. And they'll take your house. They'll take your car. They'll take everything. You will work the rest of your life paying off that debt. And when you die, that debt will not be paid. It will go to your children. And then they'll keep paying your debt. And then so on and so on. That's how America healthcare is set up. It's very predatory. It's the only country in the world where it's set up like that. So, once again, land of the greed. It's greed is all it is. And then we go to our police officer funeral section of the song. Another guitar lick. Obviously, I played that. I'm not going to Marty Shorts this, but it's just 2 clean licks I played.
So what made you want to end a song like that and not the way that you ended initially?
Initially, it was going to be that static cut, and then the song was going to just be done. It was going to be turn off the radio, static, and then you have a little click effect right here that I call TV off. That's the TV turning off. That's how it was going to end. But to have a nice climax, bringing in the guitars and this speech you're about to get to,
yep,
I think was very cinematic for what's happening. Because this whole song you've been switching radio stations. So now you're onto the final radio station. You scream, turn off the radio, the radio clicked, but it didn't click off. You didn't turn it off yet. You thought you did, but you didn't. And then you get to listen to the final.
It is now 89 seconds to midnight. This is the closest the world has ever been to midnight. Any move towards midnight should be taken as an indication of extreme danger and an unmistakable warning.
So throughout I have these glitches.
It is now.
Okay, I'll cover it. I'll have a choice. I have to cover it.
Nah, go ahead, bro.
You don't want me to mention
Nah,
it?
go ahead. Yeah. Talk about the Easter egg.
Okay. I gotta find it. So during the recording, we made a few mistakes in the song, and
Wicked.
we want to be funny, so we threw them at the end of the song underneath everything, and yeah.
In between takes of us getting the song, we kind of like
Like the idea of like maybe putting it towards the end of the song.
As an Easter egg.
Yeah,
This
like
Easter egg you can't hear in the mix, but
It is now 89 seconds to midnight. This is the closest the world has ever been to midnight.
so this part, it was the final broadcast. This is you hearing that the world's at the end. Unfortunately for our character, the world has already ended. But he's hearing this in retrospect, obviously. Or you could view this as a flashback. Maybe his TV got turned off and he went to a flashback. There's a few different ways that this can be interpreted. But eventually it leads to the actual real outro, the real end. So... And that's the actual end of the song, is you actually hear the static and then click and the TV's off.
Have both said that there's benefits to be
Right,
had.
well, the President of the United States is fucking lying!
Ladies and gentlemen, the whole world's a stage. We're merely reactors to the powers that play. The dawn of the ice age, no walk, no run. There's so much fun when everyone has a loaded gun. So much fun when everyone has a loaded gun.
I can't see that. I can't. Fuck! I got stuck in my own.
kind of fucks though. Man.
Okay, now look at it.
Is that anything to say to the 1920 niggas talking shit? But it was pretty much going for was that free speech nowadays, it's a right. As American citizens, we have that right. But just because you're free, free speech doesn't mean you're freedom of consequence, right? So,
I don't know where this will be in the video, but I'm sure you'll figure this out in post. So, addressing the controversy of the song, which has been addressed earlier by Ace, but addressing it now. This song, although it's political undertones in nature, it is not a political song. It's not made to diversify or not made to divide anybody. If you take offense to what's being said in the song, you're probably really sensitive, because you're looking for something that's not there. Songs we made before this, go back and listen to Distinction and read the lyrics on Spotify, and then come back to this song. This is a lot softer than Distinction in terms of that. The reason why you think it's heavier is because the song sounds heavier and it's in the sample parts. But Extinction was far heavier in lyrical content of being on the nose about what we meant. You can go back and look at it. I'm not going to say the lyrics here, but there's some things we said in there about Mr. President that is pretty on point, you know. This song, as all songs, is a concept of being in the apocalypse. You put yourself in the character's shoes, you go through an experience. That's what the song is about. Is there real life references to it that you can take? Yes, you can feel. Of course, every song is. I don't care what it is, every song. The Charlie Kirk line, you might catch a Kirk in the neck, is just a tongue-in-cheek way of saying you might get killed for speaking your mind. That's all it comes down to. Charlie Kirk had a right to say what he wanted to say, and he did not deserve to get killed for saying what he wanted to say. But everything you say does have consequences. So when you spew a certain type of thing, don't be surprised that there's some unhinged people out there that might hear it and take a warpath on you, including us when we say stuff in our songs. We know that. But once again, as Ace said, we do not condone his death in any way.